Welcome to Two Wheels. And on Two Wheels this week I get the chance to ride something bigger than I previously rode, but that's later in the programme. Paul, he meets Matt Coulter, the Kangaroo Kid, the barmy Australian stunt rider who uses mules and quads for his stunts. So he's going to chat to him as to why he uses those strange machines. But first of all, we've got our Uncle Jeff. He's been to Spain to meet the D&E Ducati Racing team. So, watch that while I work out how the hell I get down from here.
Welcome back to Aberthetty, and welcome to the classroom, where Chief Instructor Andy Ibbott runs through the finer points of positioning, sighting and throttle control for his slightly apprehensive audience. Once fully briefed and split into groups, it's off to be kitted up into the obligatory leathers and head out onto the circuit for a few exploratory laps. So where, you might ask, does the race team fit into all this? Well, who better to ask, in my best Italian accent of course, than the team owner and manager.
Signoro Enzo Di Clementi, can you speak English a little?
Io parlo italiano, tu parli italiano, Jeff?
No.
Non parlo niente, no?
English, no, English, please?
Sì, parlo inglese, sì.
And just a little, do you speak English?
I speak loads of English, mate, you're all right.
That was good, wasn't it? I knew it all the time, didn't I? Enzo, look, one thing, you're the team manager, you are D&E, or rather, you are the E of D&E. The D part, that's your missus?
That's the team owner, the wife,
Yeah,
Diane.
nice one. Where is she?
I'm afraid it's my son's first day at school today, so she's back in rainy Leeds at the moment, and I'm in sunny Spain.
Oh, well, you look sorry about it as well. Now, today you've been out on circuit here, so this is what I normally expect a team manager to be doing. So what's all that about?
Well, I'm an ex-racer and also an ex-school instructor, actually.
Yeah.
And it's the only chance I actually get to ride anymore.
Right.
Which is, it just happened to fit in with the thing we were doing with the sponsors and with the race school. So
yeah.
I'm instructing and looking after sponsors at the same time.
You got it always round, and in the background there, you've got your two racers out with you as well, and the race bikes. So,
yeah, we've got Dean Thomas here, who everybody knows in England, the Australian who's third in our championship, and our new rider, Scoop for you, Stuart Wickens.
Yeah, I've met him out here, and a nice guy, and so he's come in late in the season, but he's settling down, or is this his first tryout
This
here?
is actually his first time he's ridden a Ducati.
Yeah.
So basically, Jeff, it's just to get Stuart comfortable with the bike.
Yeah.
You know yourself how Ducati's like, the characteristics slightly different to a Japanese bike, so you just need some chance to get used to it, really.
Yeah. So if you come back to today, and yeah, you're trying out the bikes, but the sort of competition side of it, and you've got all these winners here. We've seen the Superbike school doing their bit. What's your job? What are you trying to do to be? Because it's not a track day, is it?
No, it's not. What it was, Jeff, originally Motorola came to me and said they'd like to organise a competition with all the major press, basically motorcycle news, performance bike yourselves, and offer your average Joe, biker out there a chance to come and do something different. But we didn't just want it to be like a track day, we wanted people to learn something and go away with an experience. And I think we combined the two, really. We've given them like a bit of a very good weekend there. We've taken them out, we've got some food and drink.
Don't forget the go-kart racing.
And the go-kart racing, yeah, which you did quite well, actually, if I remember rightly. Yeah, the go-kart racing, and then we brought them on the circuit, but as you said before, it's not a track day. They're there to learn certain drills. Each time they go out, there's a drill they've got to perform. Myself and Dean are watching them, seeing if they do perform the drill right. At the end of the day, they can learn something, and the lucky winner gets a brand new set of handmade Dainese leathers.
Excellent.
So it's good exposure for Motorola, it's good exposure for my team, and I feel that these guys are getting something for it in the riding.
Yeah, excellent.
So while some are out on the circuit, others are tackling the slide bike. a weird looking R6 with outriggers designed to let you concentrate on turning without the fear of falling off. Easier for some than others. Kevin, another lucky winner, but how did you get on this?
I just entered through MCM News. Thought I'd have a go, and here like I am, I've won.
That was it, simple as that. And
Simple as that.
And what sort of day have you had?
Fantastic day, I couldn't ask for anything better.
What about this sort of the handling? You know that bike, the slide bike, where you had to sort of steer around with the stabilisers?
Well,
Couldn't get used to that, could you?
not at first, because the frame's there and you think, well, what's that there for? But once you got used to it, it does good for you, it does.
Yeah. Must be odd with the outriggers, you can see them out the corner of your eye.
Yeah, very odd, because you're thinking, I'm going to hit that in a minute, but you don't, you just go around it.
But do you think it helped you? Or does
Oh
it,
yes, it does
it
help.
did.
Yeah, it does very much, yes.
And then over the day, any big things that you learned? Because you've never done any track days or
No, it's
anything,
the
have you?
first day. I've gained a load of experience through cornering and accelerating out of a corner and handling everything.
Yeah.
It's been marvellous.
So you'll be hanging off that 600 Bandit when you get home?
On one arm and going around. Oh yeah, I really will, yeah.
While this was all very well, I hadn't even had a chance to go out. But I couldn't let the day go without a putt around on a 748. Well, this is it. My turn to have a crack. I'm going out on the ordinary road going 748 first, and then it's going to be the racer. So let's see how I'll get on. While students clocked up around 70 laps, I only had chance for 3 around the flat but very twisty 2.1 mile circuit. Look at this, nearly 7:05. It's been an absolutely fantastic day though, a long one but nevertheless fantastic, and the competition winners have had a whale of a time here. And I have too, because you know what? I actually managed to ride the 748 Works Ducati. But unfortunately folks, you'll have to wait until next week for that.
Now, just of recent, I've been making some serious complaints to the powers that be about using little mopeds, 50cc ones. So they said, do not fear, Wayne, it's not a problem, we'll give you something twice the size. So I thought they meant a big bike. Oh no, 100cc. It is twice the size of 50. Nonetheless, I'm not complaining because this is a super little machine. It's a Kymco Cobra. Kymco actually stands for Kwangyang Motor Company, and try saying that when you've had a few beers, but of course you don't have a few beers and ride a motorbike, so it's not a problem. Kwangyang Motor Company. It's actually part owned by Honda, and they're produced in Taiwan. So we've got Italian flair and style in appearance with Taiwanese quality of build. So what's it like? Well, I suppose we should use this opportunity to try it. Okay, it's twice the capacity of a moped, but that doesn't mean twice the speed. It does mean though that it's capable of holding its own amongst other traffic. A top speed of just over 60 miles an hour is quite sufficient for most situations. Apart maybe from the motorway, but then again, you probably wouldn't buy one of these if your trip involves a lot of motorway miles. This machine is more suited to nipping in and out of city centres, with perhaps the odd dual carriageway thrown in for good measure. Now, even though this is a 100cc, the basic riding procedure and controls are just the same as other scooter and mopeds, which basically means the left-hand handlebar brake here works the back brake. The one on the right-hand side here works the front brake, and these are a disc on the front and a drum on the back, and they're superb, they're just what you need. And then instead of pedalling like you would do on a push bike, you just work the throttle, and away she goes. The simple rev and go principle, and that's the same even though this is a 100cc. Just like all the 50cc scooters, plenty of room under the seat here, for example, to take a helmet, and a meaner helmet, a full face helmet. Whether you've got a big head or a little head, you can stick your helmet under there, and not a lot of them allow enough room for a full face helmet. And because it's got loads of room under there, it's also a big seat here, so if you happen to have big buttocks, you've got no problem with comfort and accommodating your backside. Under the seat here is where you put your petrol and your 2-stroke oil, so that's nice and simple, and it's clean as well, and there's no turning petrol on, you know, there's no switches or anything to do. With these things, you simply put the key in, pull a lever to keep the brake on, press a button, it starts up, rev it, and you're away. Superb, nice and clean. We've spent some money, you know. Granada and 2 wheels have come to some great expense here and allowed me a small budget to buy a top box to put my butties in. And in this case, I'm carrying my £50 lock. And on this bike, we put a couple of £100 worth of immobiliser on it as well, because security is important. Doesn't matter whether it's a moped scooter form or whether it's a big super bike. Theft is a problem, so you overcome it. And there's a few other things I want to mention as well, some luxuries. For example, on the dashboard here, there is a rev counter. That's not common on a scooter nowadays. So we've got a rev counter, the usual speedo with the mileometer, and a petrol gauge, so you've no fear of running out of petrol. To be honest with you, you've no fear anyway, because this thing does 4,228 miles, give or take a few noughts, thereabouts, to the gallon. Now, who needs a petrol gauge? Because you're just going to go forever. There is a glove box, look, to keep all your bits and pieces in. Refreshments, non-alcoholic of course. Not only have we got that, we've got mirrors, so you can do your hair. Oh, they think of everything, don't they? Such luxuries. We've got back here some pillion foot pegs, decent sized foot pegs. Passenger's foot go on there, your feet go up there. Plenty of room for a person on the back here for comfort, because being 100, it will travel all right. Not ridiculously fast, of course, but it will travel some distance comfortably 2 up. And the passenger can lean against the top box. I love it. The only thing is, it don't come with paddles. And I can't remember where my buoyancy age is. I'm sure I've got a rubber ring in here somewhere. Ah well, we'll give the canals a miss today and stick to the tarmac, and this little Cobra does stick quite well. The nippy little 2-stroke engine is perfect for a quick getaway at the old traffic light Grand Prix. Its super lightweight means that manoeuvring round the traffic and through the traffic is easy peasy. Cornering is great fun, and it's surprising how far you can lean one of these little babies over. So you've probably gathered from what I've had to say up to now that I am impressed by this Kymco Cobra, certainly this 100cc version. But I have got a complaint. It's only a personal thing, I don't know about you, but I think that the front is ugly. Well, no big deal. It's just that the latest modern stylish things are very pointed, very stylish, look like superbikes from the front, and this looks like it's been bashed up front with a big hammer. But that's no big deal, is it? Because the rest of it is superb. And when you consider that this is available to you for less than £1,800 as a 100cc, I think it's superb value for money. And you can also buy a 50cc version for £15.95. Do you know, it's seriously hard work being a TV presenter, certainly after you've done an hour's worth of work, so we have to have a lie down. Do you know, if every week it goes up 100%, I should be about on a 1,600 in 4 weeks. I'm going to dream about it.
Well, Wayne, I think you can forget 1,600 cc's. But coming up after the break, Wayne and I climb aboard with Matt Coulter, the Kangaroo Kid.
Now, if you were watching last time, you'll remember Wayne meeting a guy called Matt Coulter, the Kangaroo Kid, and he found out all about his lifestyle and how he got into the world of stunts, and he is the best stunt performer in the world when it comes to quads, and he's not bad on bikes either. And here, amongst all this array of machinery, is the man himself, Matt, doing a bit of retreading, it looks like. Matt, can I just interrupt you there?
Yeah, man, how you going?
I'm all right. What are you up to now?
Well, being grass, the grass is a little bit damp, a little bit wet. And I was doing wheelies okay on the build, but I was needing a little bit more traction, so I thought I'll get the old tyre groover out and just a couple more grooves in the tyre and it'll be sweet for the next performance.
The obvious question is, why are you using a Buell on grass?
Well, because it's different, and it's a great machine. Oh, it's a great machine.
Makes life very difficult for you.
I'll ride it around because it sounds great.
Yeah, it does.
No, it's just different, right? And I like to be different. Buells are meant to be different.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of blokes doing all the stunts on the two-wheelers on the tarmac and all that, and they're fantastic and they're great. But there's a lot of them nowadays, isn't there?
There is.
And so I always like to be different and do some wheelies on the grass. You know, what different can that be on a road bike?
So the Buell is only one of 5 machines which you have here this weekend. 3 different quads. Why? Why do you need 3?
Well, this is a 300 Honda, and to be honest, like I wanted a quad. There was a nice compact little machine, electric start with disc brakes on the front, so I could do the roly-poly thing, you see.
Yeah.
And so it's a nice little machine for that. And also I got a tow bar on it, and it tows my trailer into the arena when I'm doing my jumps as well.
Oh, right, I see.
And then I got the red one here, which is a 400 Honda.
Right.
And that's just a sport quad, which is actually made for the American market.
Yeah.
It's got an XR 400 motor in it, actually, you know, but electric start.
Yeah.
And then the jump quad.
That looks very trick, that jump quad.
That is a trick machine. Really high-tech suspension. It's a Phillips quad. It's about, well, it's a bit heavy, but it's real strong.
Yeah.
Real strong. In 5 years I've been using these quads, I've really not broken hardly anything at all.
Wow, well that's a good advert for it, isn't it?
It's a 250cc Yamaha YZ250 motocross engine. That's a good machine.
This red one, just going back to that, that's the one that you do all the wheelies with lots of people on it.
Yeah, that's the one I get the girls on. It's great to get the girls on that one. It vibrates a lot, you know.
I'm sure it does, yeah. And all right, so 3 quads, a Buell.
Yep.
And a new addition to your...
I got that's a factory TM, that one.
TM motocross.
Factory TM motocross. I've only just started using this in my show. I only picked it up the other day, and I'm going to reintroduce the 2-wheeler jumping to my show.
Right.
A few years ago I did 2-wheeler jumping in my show, and I did drop it mainly because someone stole my bike.
Oh, right.
Yeah, someone stole my bike from a show, and I just never bothered to replace it.
You get all of these 5 machines in this truck?
Well, yeah, I do. It's a pretty, well, not this one. There's the roll cage one goes on the trailer.
Did you used to work in a sardine factory or something like that, eh?
It's a bit of an art to pack them in there.
So what's the... I mean, this is this unique to you, this rolling thing? Have you built all this? Because you're very hands-on, aren't you?
Yes, definitely. I didn't actually, I designed it.
Right.
I didn't build this cage. Bickers Action actually built the cage, and they do a lot of the stunt work for all the Bond films, and you know, they did all the Indiana Jones stuff. And anytime there's a car stunt on television, basically it's the Vickers Action crew that actually have built the equipment to do it.
Really?
Yeah. Really? And they're based up in Suffolk near me. So
this is Mark II roll cage, I believe, isn't it?
It is, yeah, I think so, yeah.
What happened to the other one?
No, definitely, because the other one actually broke it off.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it wasn't as round as this one.
Because you get stuck sometimes halfway.
I do get stuck.
But you do it on purpose.
Yeah, I did get stuck on purpose. This is actually a cage I could never get stuck if I didn't want to, right?
Right.
But the other one was a bit narrower, and I went over, and the grip of one wheel a bit more than the other, and it chucked me sideways and flipped over sideways, and the cage had all broken. I was hanging on for dear life. Oh God, that's me.
I don't know. So what's the hardest stunt to do that you do?
The hardest stunt to do is probably have to deal with all the different show people, come to different venues and different circumstances.
I've noticed walking around here with you today in this little sort of paddock area that we've got. You know everybody. Everybody knows you. It's like a travelling circus, isn't it?
It is. I mean, very rarely we meet up at one show.
Yeah.
Sometimes there'll be 1 or 2 of us at a show, right, and then we'll meet and go off our separate ways, and we're all friendly together.
It's all like a big family.
Oh, it is, yeah. None of us are related by blood, but we're all great friends, and we get on real well.
Excellent.
But the hardest stunt to do is probably be safe, right? When I'm doing the shows, you've got a lot of different circumstances to put into consideration. Like here, we've got all the wires around in the arena with this high wire act, and the arena's very small and it's very slippery. So I've got to tailor my act, each individual stunt, so I don't cause the public any damage, you see. And it's very important. The public safety is the most paramount. I mean, mine doesn't really matter, but as long as I don't really hurt anybody else in the public. And there's so many different conditions, and you've got to deal with it. That's the hardest part. Yeah. I mean, the stunts themselves, which I do, aren't really hard anymore because I can do them in my sleep. You know, I've been doing them for so long now.
Yeah. What's your next big stunt? Your next big thing?
My next big stunts are these things in Las Vegas, which I'm doing, like jumping over the Sphinx outside the Luxor Casino. Wheeling
on a quad,
on a quad bike, yeah. Wheeling. All my big major stunts I will ever do will always be on a quad bike, because it's always different, you know. That's what I'm specialising in. I'm going to jump over the Sphinx at Luxor. Going to wheelie between 2 buildings over 1 tightrope for each back wheel. It's going to be wild, that one.
Up in the air.
20 stories up, And another one I'm going to do is like when I did on Don't Try Us at Home, where I was jumping off a jetty and there was like a 100-foot gap in the water and I landed on a floating pontoon.
Right? I think
I've seen it. And there was water skiing boats going underneath the boat with water skiers as I jumped across. Well, for the Americans, you know what they're like? We're going to have, like at SeaWorld, you know how they have a pyramid of skiers?
Yeah.
Right? We're going to have 2 pyramids of skiers going like that. And I'm going to jump between the 2. As the pyramid of skiers come along, I'm going to jump between the 2, and they're going to have helmet cameras on the top people. They're going to be doing this, and it's going to be great.
You'll only get one go at that, though.
Oh yeah.
You better get it right.
It's going to be great.
I'm sure you will. Well, good luck and carry on with your retreading.
Yeah, I'm going to get the old groove around again.
We'll look forward to the rest of your show.
Thanks very much. I'll get my microphone working now.
Well, if you've ever been lucky enough to see the Kangaroo Kid live, you'll know that he thrives on interaction with the crowd. And as he says, one of his favourite parts of the show is to invite members of the audience to join him on the quad to do a wheelie. And on this occasion, Wayne and I were lucky enough to have the best seats in the house.
Give us your legs here. Come on, over you come. Right, give me your hands here. Just sit up on the top of the rack, right? Yeah, just sit right there. Sit right there. Sit right there. Yeah, move up, mate. Okay, kick up. There you go, you hold it in the middle there. What's your name? Emma. Okay, Emma. Up we go. That's it, just get out of the way. That's gonna go. Not gonna come away, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, please give these volunteers a big round of applause to take a part. Because they are very brave, aren't they? There you go, come here.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks very much for taking part, good on you.
And on Two Wheels next week, we've an exclusive interview with 4-time World Superbike champion Carl Fogarty and his wife Michaela. Wayne chats with Mervyn Phillips, a one-legged biker who aims to be the fastest man around the world. And Jeff throws his leg over a works Ducati in Spain.